Welcome back to the Indy Boys Racing Podcast. If this is your first episode, couldn't have picked a better episode to join us for. It was a little interesting weekend of racing. Lots of road course racing around the motorsports world. We had three incredible races that we normally cover at Baku, at where were we? We were at Baku, we were at Sonoma, and we were also at Road America. Sorry. Long weekend. It's been a long day. A lot of stuff going on. The tired one that's talking right now is myself, Tristan Grider. Joined with, as always, my incredible co-host, Daniel Chaney and Justin Cox. How are we doing today, boys?
Shoot, I'm all right, man. I'm just chilling. Baku is all right. It was an all right race. I wouldn't say it was good. It wasn't mid because it was kind of exciting at points.
Right. But it was fine.
Yeah, it was a fine race, yeah.
So it was like how I felt about like the IndyCar race last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got to say. What about you, Daniel?
I'm doing really good. IndyCar was good yet again. So that automatically just makes me a happy boy.
Doesn't miss.
Dude, at first I really thought it was going to when there were like 3 straight cautions. I was like, bro, are we about to get a Nashville? And then we didn't because it got good. But
and then it got bad again at the end.
Not that bad.
Not
though.
bad.
Like it was like
yeah.
It was like an entertaining
Good finish.
crashiness. Yeah.
There has not been a mid IndyCar race yet, though.
There hasn't been.
Every IndyCar race has been at least good.
Yeah, man. It's been pretty good. But yeah.
Which brings me back to my IndyCar superiority. I'm just gonna start ascending.
You see that? You see that clock? See that grandfather clock right there?
Oh,
Quick,
no.
someone! Quick! Someone play the Indy Boys song! Quick! But yeah, we got a great show for you guys today. Going to talk all about the race reviews, motorsport media, as always, questions, segment, predictions for next week. Normal episodes transition into motorsport media. Okay, so lots of news this week. I'll start with NASCAR. Xfinity Series news. Sammy Smith will run 8 races for JGR in the 18 in Xfinity. Pretty solid. The 18 has been kind of a development car all season for drivers like Ryan Truex and Trevor Bayne, but it's cool to see Sammy Smith get some starts there. He's an ARCA East or West standout. I don't really remember which one, but TRD development driver. Pretty solid that he's getting there. The Busch class will return to the LA Coliseum for 2023.
I'm hype.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
kinda
that's
cool.
It's not kind of
I
cool.
liked
It is
the
cool.
LA. I liked
That
the
race
LA
was so much
Clash.
better than it should have been.
I liked the LA Clash,
It
but I
shouldn't
kind
have
of
been
was
good,
hoping-
and it was fire. And I stand by that.
I liked the LA Clash, but I was kind of hoping that it was gonna go to different tracks every year. But whatever.
Well, I mean,
Whatever.
it's easier because like the Coliseum, like the actual in the bottom of the Coliseum, like it's bigger.
Yeah, but
than
they
most
they have
stadiums.
to repave it, which is crazy because they tore it up. So
Yeah, but you know how full that place was and how much money they got because
that's
of it?
true. Danny was talking to us all about
Like-
it. And, Danny B, in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
who was talking about Danny B was talking to us all about it, and he's had a great time. So, and then my third and final piece of news is this is kind of just a milestone that I wanted to shout out. As of Sonoma last weekend, during the race, they kind of shouted it out. Hendrick Motorsports has officially led 100,000 miles in the NASCAR
gosh.
Cup Series.
That is crazy.
I don't know if they're the first team to do that.
They
but
were, I believe.
They were. Yeah, so that's freaking awesome.
They made a big deal about it because they were the first, because for the longest time, like, obviously 4-car teams were kind of unheard of, and Hendrick was one of, like, the first teams to kind of, like, make that more of the norm for the big boy teams.
Roush kind of had 5 cars for, like, a long time.
Yeah, but Hendrick they've always had consistent 4
But
cars.
Hendrick had Jeff Gordon.
And Jimmy Johnson.
And most importantly, Casey Mears. But yeah, so they led 100. They led
I have to throw my
100,000
headphones
miles.
again?
Yeah, but they led 100,000 miles in the Cup Series. That's freaking cool. The most dominating team in all of NASCAR, in NASCAR history, number 1 again. So that's cool. All right, transition over to Jay. He's got a bunch of F1 news.
Okay, so as always, Project Dive Bomb. Shout out to them for my F1 news. There are actually some F1 chief officials going to South Africa next week, and it is reported that the state of the track only needs minor tweaks for it to be FIA Grade 1. So very interesting, because we could see this race as early as next year. So
Hello?
that's dope. Yeah.
That's pretty fire. Not
That's
gonna
dope.
lie.
That's dope. So, also, Lewis Hamilton is officially granted honorary citizenship for the country of Brazil. Apple purchases rights to F1 film starring Brad Pitt, and Lewis Hamilton is a producer for that film.
I know. I wonder who he's gonna play.
I just wonder what it's
Lewis
gonna
Hamilton,
be
bro.
about, though. Like, what
Yeah,
is it?
Brad Pitt's gonna play Lewis Hamilton. Nice.
I just wonder what it's gonna be about, though. Like, I haven't seen
Rush 2.
Rush 2. Rush 2.
Talladega Nights 2, Monaco.
Monaco.
Monaco
this time Ricky
Nights.
Bobby goes to F1.
Dude, can we talk about how that would actually be like really funny?
That
Like you
would
could
be
totally
funny.
do that nowadays.
You could.
You could totally do it.
Yeah.
With the fact that like Danica going to
Yeah.
NASCAR and Jimmy Johnson going to IndyCar, you could totally make fun of that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could.
but I
You could
feel
do
like
that
they
easily.
wouldn't be able to make all the jokes that they did back in 2005. But whatever.
They can tweak it. They can
All
tweak
right,
it.
I got two more things. Multiple paddock sources report that Leclerc's ICE is beyond damage and beyond repairable. So they are going to have to go to a new ICE, and this will be this will be the third one taken. So they're running their engines crazy fast, and Ferrari's reliability is very bad currently. They started off
Yeah.
really good, and it was Red
Not the
Bull.
Ferraris.
Not the Ferrari. But yeah, no. Ferrari's reliability is really bad right now. So, also fun fact: Max Verstappen has now won more races from Charles Leclerc poles than he has, and that's all I got. So I just wanted to say that. That's all I got.
Epic Ferrari moment.
Epic Ferrari failure, bro.
Let's hear about IndyCar, Daniel.
All right, so once again, I don't have any official news, but what I do have is silly season rumors, baby.
It's so
Yes, this is
silly.
it's becoming a trend. I know. I'm tired of not having official news all the time, but we gotta deal with what we have. And so a lot of this actually comes from our dad, Tony Donahue. Thanks, Dad, for giving us news.
Our dad, Tony.
Tony Donahue of Burnout Sports, if you guys don't know, our partner company or partner group. Tony Donahue's our dad. He's our media dad. And so what he reported is that Rinus VeeKay to Chip Ganassi Racing is more than likely happening, in quotation marks. That's something he heard from his source at Ganassi. So again, doesn't mean confirmed, just means it's being heavily discussed. Obviously, Rinus VeeKay leaving the 21 car. That means there's going to be an open seat. And the two names that are on the short list that have been very heavily rumored is that the 21 will be taken by either Callum Ilott or friend of the show, Stingray Robb.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting because that's two names you don't hear thrown around that much in silly season, especially Stingray Robb since he's still in Indy Lights.
I mean, hey, he's paid his dues, I'd say.
Oh
Already
yeah, I
Indy
mean,
Lights. And
he's second in points right now.
I mean, he already has more of a resume than Devlin had. So I mean,
That's true. That is true.
Yeah,
That is true.
come
Right.
on. I mean,
I'm
come
not,
on.
I'm not gonna dispute it, but
Come on.
But
yeah.
we don't know. We don't know yet. But another thing that kind of goes with that is that while everybody seems to be like talking about Palou potentially going to Aero McLaren, which isn't
Right.
happening, it's just not. Stop talking about it. But something that has been discussed is Scott Dixon joining the team and potentially getting an ownership stake.
Ooh.
So
Hmm.
I think that'd be interesting. I don't know if I see it happening, but it'd definitely be interesting.
That'd be pretty dope.
And
actually.
something also going along with Chip Ganassi, because apparently all this news pretty much has to do with Chip Ganassi, is Jimmy Johnson potentially wanting to, or not necessarily wanting to, but being shrunk down to just the ovals and kind of being probably what like Tony Kanaan was just for the 500, but in all the ovals.
They probably saved Chip
And
a lot of money, so.
It'd save him money, and it would probably
Who would,
save Jimmy's reputation.
Who do you think would run the road courses then for Chip Ganassi in that 48?
Well, what I think is going to happen if this is the case, I don't think it's going to be like I don't know if it's going to be like Jimmy's situation last year where he did the road courses and street courses and Kanan did the ovals. I think what it might be is say how Kanan was like the 5th car just for the 500.
Yeah.
I think they run a 5th car just for the ovals
Just for
because
the
obviously
ovals.
with the Trackhouse money, they can pretty much do that
Yeah.
with ease. And they're Chip Ganassi Racing, so they've clearly got like
The resources.
they've got everything they need, and I could see them doing it.
Tracos Racing.
And also, if say Scott Dixon leaves, and if Jimmy kind of gets shrunk down into a 5th car, he might just be a 4th car part time because I don't know how things would shake out. Something also rumored going back to Callum Ilott, is the last thing for the IndyCar rumors, is that his team of Juncos Hollinger Racing, they're trying to keep him for 2023. And another thing they're thinking about doing is expanding to 2 cars. So a question I have for you guys is if Juncos expands to 2 cars, who do you guys think would take that second Juncos car?
Santino Ferrucci.
I'm agreeing
That's my that's my pick.
I'm agreeing with
Yeah,
that.
Is
As of
there
now,
anyone else?
I mean,
I think Santino.
We don't know who's all gonna get shafted
Maybe
out of rides.
maybe Sage Karam.
I don't see Sage going from Dry Reinbolt because I think he's happy with having a competitive 1 race car than a mid of the pack, lower pack, full season ride.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. Like Ferrucci could also kind of go into that
maybe
same
we
thing.
could see one of their honestly,
We
I'm
could see
throwing
a
out
road
there.
to Indy guy.
I'm actually kind of throwing it out there. If he doesn't get the ride at Ed Carpenter Racing, Stingray Rob returns to Juncos Hollinger Racing. I could see that happening.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that'd
I
be
can
dope.
see
That'd
I
be
can
pretty
see a return because I mean we saw it kind of with I mean it's gonna be next season, but we see it with Kirkwood returning to Andretti.
Mhm.
They already have a relationship there. I mean, come on, how long did Rob run for Juncos? Like 5 years?
A while.
Like how many? Like a year in
long time.
for a year
Mhm.
in USF, 3 years in Indy Pros, and then a year in Lights. Like, come on, man! Like,
I mean, yeah.
put some
I mean,
respect on his name.
who would leave Andretti though? Do you think they'll get rid of Di Francesco if he's not performing?
We're talking about Andretti now.
Yeah, because you said he would like go from Juncos to Andretti if it was like
No, what he's saying is
I'm saying that
it would be like a reverse because he went from Juncos to Andretti in Indy Lights, and he would potentially go back to
okay.
Juncos in
Okay,
IndyCar.
my
But
bad.
yes,
My bad.
I think Devlin will be out of a ride like in a couple years if he
I
doesn't.
give him 2 more years.
Nah,
If he unless he like does some wild stuff and just like
do you know who honestly might get
improves.
that? Who might get that 29 ride just because of sponsorship though?
Mm.
Just because I think that he kind of deserves to be in better equipment, but like obviously like the numbers like the results don't show up. I'd love to see Dalton Kellett in that 29.
That's true.
Just because of sponsorship, and plus he's ran with Andretti before. He was in Andretti all of his Lights career, so I'd love to see DK in that 29.
You know, hear me out. Juncos' second car. If Kellett gets shafted out of his ride at Foyt, I'd like to see him at Juncos.
Honestly, Dalton Kellett, that might be another one.
Because Juncos has good runs here and there.
And they do, and they wouldn't have to worry about sponsorship like how they have to worry about sponsorship with iLot.
That's true.
So
And then you can get a really cool paint scheme of like the green and white with
my
like the
God.
teal.
Teal.
Hear me out, bro.
Dalton Kellett to Juncos. I want it. I want it now. I want it now.
It's my dream, and I want it now.
Anyway, let us know who you guys think your silly season predictions are for IndyCar. We're gonna have a whole episode devoted to silly season coming up soon. I believe that'll probably come out in the first week of July. So that'll be exciting. You get to hear all of our silly season predictions for NASCAR, IndyCar, and Formula One. So it'll be a good time. Let's go ahead and talk all about these race reviews. Start with some Sonoma. All right, 2 races at Sonoma this week for NASCAR. Start with trucks. The winner of this race was Kyle Busch. The 51 for Kyle Busch. KBM, Kyle Busch Motorsports. Let's talk all about these just big stories, I guess. First things first, Carson Hocevar had tibia surgery after his injury last week. We talked all about that last week. If you guys want to hear our thoughts on the Hocevar injury. He went out there and put that 42 on the pole with a broken tibia. Like, come on, man. Like, that's freaking awesome.
But then he had to go to the back, though.
But then he had to go to the back. But it's fine.
But he did so.
Disappointing. But it's okay. So, got the pole. That's awesome. Got the money. Suarez ended up taking over for him, though, 10 laps into the race. Too much pain. Hopefully, Hocevar recovers soon. KFB kind of dominated from there and took it home. So let's go through this top 10 very quickly. As I mentioned, Kyle Busch takes it home. Incredibly dominant in this whole series. He just knows how to get around the track. However, he didn't win any stages. Those actually went to Ty Majeski and to Ben Rhodes. So they get some stage points. So Kyle Busch, P1. P2, Zane Smith. P3 went to Ty Majeski. 4th place, Ross Chastain. Then in 5th place was Chandler Smith. 6th place, it says it's Carson Hocevar because he technically started the race, so he gets the points for it. But Daniel Suarez brought it home 6th. My pick this week was Parker Kligerman. He brought it home 7th. 8th place, John Hunter Nemechek. 9th place, congratulations to Tyler Ankrum. You've gotten a top 10 this season. And 10th place, rounding it out, was Matt DiBenedetto. Couple honorable mentions. Some Cup guys that ran in this race included Harrison Burton, who finished 12th. Austin Dillon finished 17th. Alex Bowman finished 29th after an accident. I believe both of you guys picked Bowman. So,
yeah.
Kind of disappointing for him. But I always shout him out just because he's cool and I like him. But Brad Perez finished 22nd.
Yeah.
And
The bread.
that guy has not finished
The bread man.
lower than 22nd in his NASCAR.
You know what I saw?
career.
You know what I saw?
Yo.
Brad Perez in both the races he's run this season in the Cup Series equivalent, it's been a first career win for a Trackhouse driver.
That is crazy, though. That is true.
Keep it going, Brad. Keep it going.
Go to the Glen. Go to the Glen.
Man, let's get Kimmy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
That'd
yeah,
be awesome.
congratulations to KB. Ben Rhodes, still the points leader in the Truck Series. So there you go. Let's go over to Cup. Sonoma. It was a good race. I don't know what anyone tells you. Some people thought this race was kind of mid. I was thoroughly enjoying the
I
entirety
really
of
liked
Sonoma.
it.
I thought Sonoma, well, I can be biased because Sonoma's one of my favorite tracks that we go to, oval or road course. I love Sonoma. So, it's not as good as the Glen, but Sonoma's pretty solid.
I would just wish they.
But I can
wish
also-
they raced her when the grass was alive.
True.
Dude, February Sonoma would hit.
That would be crazy.
Anyway. But I can be a little bit more biased because Daniel Suarez won a NASCAR Cup Series race. And, I mean, everyone, if you watch the show, you know how much I love Trackhouse racing. And I've loved Suarez since he, won his Xfinity Series championship. And just to see that guy succeed finally made me all happy inside. This guy less than 2 years ago was running for Gaunt Brothers Racing.
Yeah, Gaunt Bros in the '96. That's crazy.
For real. Anyway, let's go through a couple of the stories from this race. Larson put it on the pole. Wallace blew an engine on lap 10, so the 23 was never really in contention in this one. The 5 led all of stage 1, so took that one home. It was very prevalent and obvious that Chevy and Ford were extremely fast this race. They were in the front the entire time. Logano took stage 2 home. Then disaster struck for Kyle Larson as a tire fell off, which means Cliff Daniels is suspended for a month. So we'll see who the replacement crew chief is going to be for Larson. A lot of rumors are saying that it's going to be Chad Knaus.
Ooh.
So
That'd be pretty cool,
that'd be
actually.
cool. That would be. During stage 3, though, it was pretty obvious that the race was going to be between 3 drivers, a Chevy and 2 Fords. Those were all drivers that needed a win. Daniel Suarez, the eventual winner of this race, Chris Buescher, fresh off COVID, and Michael McDowell, who's having the best season of his career. They all needed a win. Suarez finally wins it. It's his 195th Cup Series start. Finally got his win. And this race was just fun. I liked this race, and I'm going to read through the top 10 really quick. Daniel Suarez brings it home first. Chris Buescher brings it home second. Michael McDowell third. That's a crazy top 3, and I love it.
That is a wild top 3.
4th place is the 4 car, Kevin Harvick. 5th place, Austin Cindric. That was Daniel's underdog pick this week.
That was my regular pick.
It was? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
his pick this week. This was Cindric's first top 5 since he won the Daytona 500. Ryan Blaney 6th, very quietly 6th. He was top 10 all day. So good to see Blaney get those results. 7th place, Ross Chastain, also very quietly all day. Kind of needed a quiet race.
That was Daniel's underdog pick.
Yes.
8th and 9th went to Chase Elliott and William Byron. 10th place, Brad Keselowski, his first top 10 since the Daytona 500. So yeah. A lot of stuff going on in this one. Some other cool things I want to talk about. Joey Hand for Rickway Racing brought it home 20th. Only one retirement with Bubba Wallace, but Tyler Reddick and Corey LaJoie did both have issues. So yeah, a lot of stuff there. It's a bye week. The one bye week a year that we have for NASCAR is this week, and by golly, am I happy. Because not only am I happy that it's a bye week, but we get to kiss Fox goodbye.
I was about to say that.
And we
Don't
get to
let the door hit you, buddy.
and we get to welcome with open arms Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Burton.
You beautiful men come back to us. We've missed you so
We
much.
get to see Steve Letarte, Marty Snyder, and most importantly, Rick Allen. It's going to be a beautiful time
These
for
big freaking
NBC.
spoilers.
Actually, is Rick Allen going to be in the booth this year?
Probably.
Because I read somewhere that Dale
know.
Jr. is supposed to be the lead analyst, but the lead commentator. Anyway, but yeah, goodbye Fox. Hello NBC/USA. It's going to be a beautiful experience.
We missed you so much.
I
We
miss
give
you
you big kisses.
so
Mwah,
much.
mwah, 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 mwah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So yeah, that's all I got from Sonoma. Go over to Baku.
All right, guys. 2022 Azerbaijan GP. It was all right. Like I said in the beginning, it wasn't a bad race. It wasn't a good race, but
I
it was
honestly
pretty
thought this race was
Um,
mid. I'm not gonna lie.
really, from a
I'm sorry,
strategy, until Leclerc retired, it was pretty good in my opinion. But like from a strategy standpoint, but once he retired, strategy kind of just it didn't matter. But all right. So Max Verstappen ended up taking this one home. First lap, clean start, clean race all around. Lap 9, this is where we see the first Ferrari retirement with Carlos Sainz. He tried to find a gravel trap, couldn't find it, so he just retired the car. But yeah, and he brought out a VSC. Charles Leclerc and Ferrari pit under the VSC and try to get a nice undercut on the Red Bulls, which it was working until we'll get to it a little later. Ocon and Vettel battle in the turn 3, and Vettel kind of misjudges where Ocon is and goes into the runoff, and he has to flip it around, and he gets recovered pretty well, so he didn't lose too much time. Lap 15, Checo leading from lap 1, switches with Max for the lead. And it was kind of a fair call because, I don't know. I mean, they just said flip it, but yeah. Lap 20, the final Ferrari goes up in smoke, and Leclerc had to retire from the lead in this race. And that was crazy. And I was not expecting that, actually. I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry. I'm seeing things pop up on my screen, and it's making me laugh. I'm sorry if you hear me chuckle a little bit. Lap 25, Vettel completes the pass on Ocon finally. He gets his revenge on Ocon, and he makes a clean pass on him. Lap 36, Yuki Tsunoda, his DRS flap actually broke in half while he was racing. And
then they fixed it with some Flex Seal.
Hey, bro, if it can work at Talladega, it can work in F1.
It can work on water.
But he was not allowed to use DRS, so because it broke, so he wasn't allowed to actually
right.
But yeah, I don't know. But lap 51 comes around, final lap of the race. Max hangs on to win the 2022 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Let me take you through the top 10 point scores here. We got Verstappen in first, Perez in second, George Russell in third. Mr. Consistency week in, week out. He's not been outside the top 5 so far. So
is this podium for me?
Oh, me?
For
me? Fourth was Lewis Hamilton. Fifth was Pierre Gasly. Sixth was Sebastian Vettel.
Gasly.
Seventh,
that is liked by Pierre Gasly right there.
liked by Pierre Gasly, exactly. Seventh was Fernando Alonso. Eighth was Daniel Ricciardo. Ninth was Lando Norris. And 10th, Esteban Ocon.
First race this season that Ricciardo is placed higher than Lando Norris.
That is true. Good call. Championship standings. Things kind of flipped around here. Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc, Russell, Sainz, Hamilton, Norris, Bottas, Ocon. And as Tristan gets up because he doesn't want to hear this final piece of the championship standings, Pierre Gasly is 10th in the championship standings now.
I don't want to talk about it.
Go!
He said, I don't want to talk about it. Hey, you can come sit down now, bud.
Alpha Tori game.
If you can't
stand up, Alpha Tori game.
Throw a bitch fit. I'm not happy.
Yes, Pierre Gasly overtakes Kevin Magnussen for 10th in the championship standings currently, though. But
hey Tristan, take this L, bro.
Tyler Reddick finished 35th this week.
I don't want to talk about it. Let me have this one thing for once, okay?
That's funny.
My favorite driver in IndyCar got a top 5. My favorite F1 driver got a top 5. Let me have this.
Hey, by the way, Herta's outside the top 10 in points in IndyCar too.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh my god!
Both my drivers are in the NASCAR playoffs.
I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, mine is too. I'm just saying.
It's fact. Hey, but your driver's also in the sub-20s in the regular, outside the points.
He's in the playoffs. He's in the playoffs. That's all that matters.
That's true. He's below Michael McDowell.
Don't matter. He's in the playoffs. But all right, the constructor standings: Red Bull Racing, Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, and flipping with Alfa Romeo this week. Alpine is now 5th in the constructor standings.
That's awesome for them.
Yeah, crazy. But I got one question for you guys, and then we'll go over to IndyCar. Porpoising was a big thing over the weekend. What could F1 and the teams do to maybe fix this issue? I have an idea. I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on it because we've seen with a bunch of guys complaining about porpoising, especially Lewis Hamilton. He got out of the car visibly hurt because bouncing for 51 laps for 2.5 hours.
Doesn't sound very fun.
Yeah, at 220 miles an hour, 210 does not sound fun. So we'll go.
It reminds me a lot of it reminds me a lot of the surface there. Kind of reminds me a lot of how it is at Road America, and speeds are very similar.
Yeah.
So they're about to repave Road America. I don't know if they should just repave Baku. I know that'll cause a lot of fans to get pissy. I mean, because I was pissed when they repaved Atlanta. So was the world. Yeah. But Maybe
Super
a
Speedway racing.
maybe a repave is needed. So
Yeah,
I guess I could go with that.
that's true. What's up, Daniel? Let's hear it.
I mean, realistically, I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I can't give some fancy schmancy answer that's gonna solve everything. All I
Car
know is
go fast and go zoom,
yeah. All I know is it's an issue,
But
and
go
I hope
bounce
they're
and
working
go
on it
boom.
because if they're not working on it, they're really missing out because it's getting worse.
George Russell say, "I want podium."
I want podium.
George Russell says, "Podium for me." Lewis Hamilton, back pain for me.
Back
Max
Yeah,
then.
fix
Verstappen.
this issue, F1, bro.
Max
Seriously.
Verstappen did
So
again. Okay.
really, my idea on it was that it's either they need to work hard in the off season and kind of just deal with it for this season and work on the off season and fix it, or just for the remainder of the season they can put a limit on how low the ride heights can be on the cars because that's what's causing a lot of the porpoising. So that's why a lot of the cars are bouncing the way they are is because you want them to sit lower for them to have more downforce and more performance. So when they sit lower, they bounce a lot more. And so what I could see is the FIA and F1 saying, "Hey, you can't be under this certain ride height limit," and that, yeah. So that's all I could say. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my idea. But I had to hear you guys' thoughts on it too, and that's all I got for Baku. So, what's up,
You know
Daniel?
what that means? It's time for some IndyCar.
It's time for arguably, I'll say arguably, the race of the weekend. I know Sonoma was really good,
Yo,
but so
Sonoma
was
was
Road America.
fire, dude.
They were both really good. I thoroughly enjoyed Sonoma, so don't take that as like I am
Debatable.
dissing Sonoma. They were both really, really good races. I thought I wasn't gonna like this race based on the start, as I said earlier. Um, let's just get into the fact of just this race had a lot of cautions, a lot of yellows. I think it's the racing gods giving us payback for the fully green race last week.
Yeah.
We kind of should have saw this coming, but first lap in turn 3, Jimmy Johnson just spun out because
Is
he
Jimmy Johnson.
got he
I
got
want to.
he got into contact by Tatiana Calderon, but like it wasn't really Tati's fault, and he was like on the radio like, "Bro, what do you did? Like, ran me off the track. I'm frustrated." I'm like, "Dude, you're in the back. Calm down." So he was pretty much a lap down the entire race.
You're a moving chicane. Calm down, buddy.
Yeah. So he was a lap down the entire race from the start. Then a few laps later, Alex Palou got bumped by Marcus Ericsson, and it was his toe link. It broke. Like,
Mm.
I want to say it was his right rear. I could be wrong, but just off the slight contact they had.
No, it was his left front. It was left front.
Was it left front?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I just remember it was really weird because it was
yeah.
so little contact.
Yeah, because Ericsson went to the inside, and I think Pillow tried to do a crossover and just kind of underestimated how fast Ericsson was going and
Mhm.
basically hit him. I don't know. That
Which
was my
that
take
started a
on it.
little teammate beef.
Yeah, that
for a
was
second.
my take.
I have never seen Alex Palou not be happy.
Yeah.
Can we talk about and
Yeah.
that man was like, I'm ready to go. He was like, I'm ready, get me back out there.
He got
It
back
was like
out there, so.
I mean, like, from Days of Thunder, where it's like the let's keep going or whatever it is, and he's like, you do not want to change the tires, keep me going. Like that's what Alex Palou was this race.
He was Lightning McQueen.
So yeah, he was 9 laps down, so he wasn't really a factor, but he just wanted to keep going because it's Alex Palou, and that's that championship mentality, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Even though where'd he
hmm?
finish? Where'd he end up finishing?
He was
Last.
like 10 laps down, so yeah.
He was 9 laps down, yeah. And then
Damn.
Pato O'Ward also, he had engine issues with about
What was it with
9 to go. So Pato O'Ward was second to last. You got to see 2 championship contenders have kind of crappy weeks. But that's, I think, what makes everything else kind of interesting, because Joseph Newgarden led 26 laps and ended up winning this race. Alexander Rossi was also in contention for winning this race, leading 16 laps. Marcus Ericsson was in contention for this race, and as he finished second, he is now your championship leader once again. So the top 5 for this race, rounding it up, Joseph Newgarden won. So he got the $1 million for the People Ready Challenge.
Yeah.
So it's something People Ready Charity Challenge. He won $1
close.
million for a charity of his choice. And then Marcus Ericsson got second, and Alexander Rossi got third, rounding out the podium. Roman Grosjean and Colton Herta got fourth and fifth. So we got 3 Andretti drivers in the top 5. And speaking of Andretti drivers, I just realized I didn't talk about this. I didn't talk about the Will Power and Devlin DeFrancesco,
Beef.
that whole situation.
Yeah, that beef.
They've squashed it now, so it's like they're fine. They've said on social media they're fine and they're ready to just move on. So there's not like a big rivalry starting. But Devlin DeFrancesco just took out Will Power and
That was a terrible move.
didn't really think it was his fault. I just think it's a rookie mistake, and I get that, like, you know, you're allowed to be frustrated if it happens, but ultimately when you're the rookie and you kind of make that mistake, you kind of just have to own it up, and that's really all I have to say about that. I know a lot of people like have a lot of various opinions on that whole thing, a lot of it being negative. I just think it's a rookie mistake, and they both ended up finishing the race, and they both were fine. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, and it doesn't need to be blown completely out of proportion. But it is something to note that did happen, because I realized I forgot to say anything about that. The rest of the top 10, Felix Rosenqvist in 6th. He was honestly in contention for this race, but he was just too passive at the end and just kind of letting people go by and not really being aggressive enough. Only thing I have to say about that is, Rosenqvist, you are racing for a ride. Why are you not fighting for positions in the last few last few laps?
Oh my god, I was saying that. I was like, dude, he's too conservative a racer. Like he should have.
And it's not a bad thing to be a conservative driver, because
like,
you don't want to get too aggressive.
Yeah.
But like,
he could
he is
have
in a situation.
He could have had a top 5 there. He could have had a top 5
Yeah,
there.
he is in a situation
He might have had a
where
if he had the most
honestly, if Felix Rosenqvist wins a race this season, I still don't know if he's going to get a good ride.
Dude, I thought Rosenqvist was gonna win this weekend. He was my underdog.
He was
So
kind of on strategy too.
Yeah, but like, so here's my question. So obviously, Zach Brown has said that Felix Rosenqvist has a ride with McLaren, whether that's IndyCar or Formula E. It's going to be Formula E. What do you think it's going to take for Rosenqvist to get a different ride? Like, do you think if Rosenqvist wins a race that he's going to get a ride, or is he just pretty much going to get shafted out?
He could be in contention for that 21.
That's fair.
So you could put that there. Maybe the Juncos car.
I would argue one of the Foyt cars, either the 4 or the 14, depending on how things shake out.
I don't think.
Would you rather take a bottom tier IndyCar ride than take a bottom tier Formula E ride?
Yeah.
Because McLaren's Formula E program is new, so they haven't fully adjusted.
Developed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd take the bottom feeder IndyCar, because then you still have fans.
Because Foyt at least one car per season has decent races here and there.
You already know, you see so many K-Line Insulators hats at the track just because he's given them to people.
Yeah,
Like,
they wear.
I love that.
And everybody
so
wears
much
them.
for Dalton. That's the best part about Dalton Kellett, is that he has so many fans.
He's so nice. He's just a homie.
I have mine up there. I mean, like, mine's chilling up there. Hank's right there above I'm pointing at it. You guys can't see it on Spotify, but it's right there. My hat.
Pointing at it.
There it is. There's mine.
Mine's back here. I wear it a lot.
Yeah. Love that. But yeah, I'd rather take bottom feeder IndyCar.
Yeah. I mean, do you think he's in contention for potentially somehow sliding up into the championship contending?
I think he definitely finishes top 10.
Because
I mean, if he can have like a podium streak, I mean, possibly. But
I mean,
as of now, he's 90 points behind, so he's like it seems like a lot now, but we're really not that far into the season.
It already is a lot.
I know.
What?
I
we're
don't
not
know.
that far into the season, Daniel. We are like
Hold on.
I mean, like,
I want to
we're-
see how many.
we
I
only
mean-
have 10 more races.
There's only 17 races.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 left.
That's far into
No
the
way.
season.
No
I
way.
don't think it's likely. I don't think it's
No.
likely, but it's possible.
We're already halfway through the season. There's no way.
No.
It's possible.
It's
there is
possible.
a chance.
Yeah, but it depends on who of those contenders are ready and where they finish ahead of him as well too.
I don't know.
I mean, we've seen interesting people wreck out decent, like, I don't know. There's been a little bit of
Let's just send
shakeup.
Pato out there to take everybody out in front of him.
I'm
and
just
have him
surprised
finish
that
third.
DK
Let's do
hurt.
it.
Where's Ed Jones when you need him, bro?
Yeah, where is Ed Jones? Actually, where is Ed Jones?
Uh,
Honestly, where is he at?
is he doing IMSA? I think he might be doing
being
IMSA.
rich, probably. But yeah, I don't know. Speaking of podium streaks, since you mentioned that earlier, quick talk about Indy Lights. Shout out to the entire Andretti podium in the Indy Lights race.
Facts, bro.
All
I'm
people
so
that are
happy.
friends of Burnout Sports and the Indy Boys Racing Podcast. Christian Rasmussen gets himself his first win. You guys can actually check him out on the IndyCar show this week on Burnout Sports, so make sure you guys check him out.
Oh, yeah.
Then our friends of our show, Stingray Rob P2, Hunter McElroy P3. Very, very cool to see the 2, 28, and 27 all on the podium this week.
Dope.
But yeah, let's go ahead and transition. I got a couple questions that I want to talk to you guys about NASCAR. So let's do that.
All right.
Okay, first thing. After both cars had incredible top 5 performances this weekend, Chris Buescher, Michael McDowell. Could we see either of them make a playoff push? I'll start this one with Jay.
Not really knowing where they're at currently, but I mean,
I'll pull it up.
I'm doing it currently. I mean, it just depends on if they get a win or not. Really, I mean, if they can
Right
get,
now in the playoff standings, Buescher is... Where's Buescher? 17. Where the heck is the 17? Is the 17 out of the... What? No way. Oh, Buescher's
Michael
22nd in driver standings. He's not on the playoff.
Michael McDowell is 20th in driver standings.
Yeah.
so. And actually, with the NASCAR season being as diverse as it is now, that really helps Michael McDowell a lot. So he has a lot more opportunities to score pretty good points. I don't know if there's any actual road courses. I mean, Indy, they do
There's-
Road America.
There's definitely 4 more road
You're
courses.
right.
There's
Well,
def-
I mean,
was gonna say,
before,
there's a
I meant
decent
before the
bit.
playoffs. I meant before the playoffs.
Oh, before the playoffs, we have
There's like-
Indy and Road America.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. But yeah.
And the
there's-
Glen. And Watkins Glen. Like, we got 3
Yeah?
more... there's
Yeah,
6
so-
road courses this season.
Well,
I mean-
there's 3 opportunities for Michael McDowell to win because dude's an ace on road courses. So
Especially
I
on
mean,
Road America.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So right there, I mean, one of those 3, or even any of the plate tracks for Michael McDowell. So
Or honestly, I mean, the guy ran so well last weekend at Gateway. Possibly, I'm just saying, we could maybe see him win at a little track called New Hampshire in a couple of
Did you
weeks.
say Eric
New
Almirola?
Hampy Wampy.
New Hampy, maybe.
Are you gonna say Eric Almirola?
No, I'm saying McDowell, bro.
Oh shit!
I could see old rock and roll McDowell getting it at New Hampy. Copyright. Anyway, yeah, that was my first thing. Will Daniel Suarez win again this season?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, you think so?
He could. Will he? I don't know. Could he? Yeah. I mean,
If so,
Trackhouse
where?
has been.
If so, where?
Daytona, Talladega.
I mean, based on Trackhouse's record this season, anywhere really.
Michigan.
Facts. I'm thinking Michigan.
Yeah.
That's where I'm thinking. I'm thinking him and Tyler Reddick are gonna be my picks for Michigan. But
Because Michigan's the sister track to Auto Club, and they ran really good at Auto Club. So.
I mean, incredibly well.
So.
What do you think? You think Daniel he gets a win?
I don't know if he
Somewhere
will. I think he will definitely contend. I think he could get a win.
Well, as of right now, he's locked in. So
yeah.
Right.
Like he's in the playoffs now. If it's gonna happen, I feel like my bet would be either Atlanta or Pocono.
Pocono. Yeah, he runs well at Pocono too.
He runs
Um,
well, and they're a better organization this year than they were last year. So
All right, 2 more questions, guys. I'm sorry, Jay, but Toyota had no finishers in the top 15.
I don't care.
Toyota's best finisher was 18th with Kurt Busch.
Look, I didn't have high hopes this weekend anyway, so.
But it's Truex at Sonoma.
I mean, yeah, but I still didn't have high
Should
hopes
we be
anyway.
worried about Toyota? Start this with Daniel.
I mean, are you saying like short term or long term?
Well, their road course program, we kind of have a couple more road courses before the playoffs. So, and we could see another guy shake up the playoff picture like we did with Suarez this weekend. Just a reminder, guys, we're only like halfway through the season and already have 12 winners. So,
Yeah, there's only 4 spots left.
Yeah. Um.
Possibly more than 16 winners this season.
That's crazy.
Trying to think.
I'll scoot it over to Jay then.
I mean, if you look at Toyota, I mean, they already have 5 of the 6 Toyotas in the playoffs. So.
Well, do they with Bell? Is Bell?
Or,
in there?
no, yeah, you're right. He's still on points, but currently he's sitting in the playoffs.
And Truex is in on points.
Oh,
Yeah, true.
he is. Oh, but they're both sitting pretty good in points. Right?
Yeah.
So basically, if
Truex will make the playoffs. Like it's like
Well, yeah. I'm not
So-
saying he won't.
So let's say guaranteed 4 of the 6 are in. All right,
Okay.
let's say that. So 4 of the 6 are like almost guaranteed in, and like I mean I don't know. I mean they've showed good speed at certain places. They've showed really bad speed at other like short tracks. They had speed. I believe at Gateway. They were pretty good at Gateway last week. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just been really hit or miss for Toyota this season, honestly. I just go in with the expectation of just down here, and then if they go up here, it's like, yeah, and if they go down here, I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of what I expected. So
that's
but-
disappointing.
so that's my take on it. So
There you go. So yeah, I think that we should probably worry about them a little bit, but that's just my thing. Final thing, we talked about it a little bit before. We're halfway through the season, guys, and we have 12 winners. Last season we had 15, counting Bubba Wallace in the playoffs. Before the break we had 14 winners. Is it the year? Is this the year we have 16 more winners
well,
or more winners?
we only have what, like 10 races left of the regular season.
I'm gonna name some drivers that haven't won a race this season. Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr., both probably guaranteed for at least 1 win this season. Chris Bell hasn't won a race yet this season, probably won't, but still. Eric Almirola, Kevin Harvick, Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon, Eric Jones, Michael McDowell, all guys that have won races in the past. Oh, well, besides Reddick, all guys that have won races in the past 2 years. And then you have drivers that are super speedway aces like Ricky Stenhouse and Bubba Wallace that could shake up the standings.
I mean,
And Brad Keselowski. You always forget that Brad Keselowski could win a race.
I mean, Ty Dillon's 25th too. All it takes is
Yeah.
all it takes is a win for Ty Dillon to get in too.
And I don't know why Chris Buescher isn't showing up there. It might just be because he missed a race, and he might. But Chris Buescher is like
That's possible.
he's definitely like 20th in points. But yeah, it's crazy. I think this is the year. I think we'll have prediction 18 winners. I think we get 18 because I think we see Harvick win. That's 13. I think we see Truex and Blaney both get wins. That's 15. 16th winner, I think it'll be Reddick. 17th winner, this one's a crazy one. Michael McDowell. I think we see him win at a road course. And then 17th, was that 16th or was that 17th or 18th, whatever?
You're on 18th.
Se- Yeah, 18th winner, Bubba Wallace at Talladega or at Bubba Wallace at Daytona.
Interesting.
I mean, I feel like I was skeptical about getting more than 16 for so long.
I was
And
too,
like
but now we're here.
like all season I was like there's no way, right? Like maybe 15, maybe 16. But like you can't get more. Um on on the broadcast for this past week, they're talking about how, typically when we think of like wild card races that anybody can win, we always think about super speedways. We just think about Talladega and we think about Daytona being those wild card tracks where anybody really has a shot. Um, but now with skill sets of drivers changing and adding just the different car that's specialized for road course races, pretty much a majority of the work was to make it better on road courses, at least. Road course races are now also kind of wild card races where anybody can win, or at least maybe not anybody, but more people that typically wouldn't be in regular contention. And what 12 people are locked in, correct?
Mm.
There are
Four
four
spots
of
left.
these. There are four super speedway
Guaranteed.
and or well, no, what I'm saying, there are four super speedway / road course races left in the regular season.
No, there's only 2 super speedways. Atlanta and Daytona.
Atlanta, Daytona, plus road courses, Road America, Indy.
Oh, okay.
And
My fault.
Watkins Glen. So technically 5.
It shoot, was that did I skip past?
Yeah, Watkins Glen is the second to last race in the regular season. My fault. I thought you were saying super speedway.
Oh no,
I thought you were saying
I
four
was I
super
was looking I
speedways.
was looking off the
Yeah.
predictions sheet and it's Watkins Glen wasn't on there.
Oh. Did I
Um,
not put it on there?
but
Oh. Sorry.
yeah, so I only counted 4. Yeah, there's 5. So if a different winner wins on all 5 of those, we've got 17.
Hmm.
And there's still tracks that drivers that haven't won on that are still like contenders, such as Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex. They could still win those. I really don't know what to expect at this point. It's kind of insane.
It's true.
It's crazy.
And like realistically, we still could get less than 16 winners.
Yeah,
like-
it's very possible we could see Kyle Larson last season where he went
We
out.
haven't seen that many repeat winners.
Kyle Larson's won 1 race this season.
My predictions were gonna get right at 16 and nobody wins. Or nobody.
That's what I
new
thought for the
wins.
longest
Nobody
time.
new
And
wins.
now I really just don't know what to expect.
You don't think Reddick's gonna win?
Me? Or
I
Yeah.
me?
Jay.
I was so confident for the
I think-
longest time.
I think Reddick,
And as much as I think he still can, I just, as a Reddick fan, like, I just keep thinking each week is going to be the week, and I keep being let down, and I just can't put that expectation in my head. So I'm going to go in with low expectations, so if he does win, I'm not disappointed.
Jay, do you think he's gonna win?
I've said at Michigan. It's coming at Michigan. I just have the feeling for it. It's coming at Michigan.
His career start is so similar to when Kyle Larson was with Chip Ganassi,
Yeah.
and it was not a matter of where, and I'm sorry, it's not a matter of when, it's a matter of where.
Yeah.
And Kyle Larson's just so happened to be Michigan too. But yeah, so yeah, that's all the NASCAR questions I have. Do you guys have any IndyCar or F1 questions you guys want to throw out there before we transition into predictions?
I mean, I kind of did my big one, but
Well, if not, then it's cool.
are there
I'm good.
are there any like championship contenders in IndyCar that maybe aren't like top 3 that you still think are going to be contenders in the long term at least?
Let me look at points.
New Garden.
Newgarden's third. in points.
He's top 3.
Oh shoot! I pulled up the race results. My bad.
I mean, I'm still saying it just because he's still there. Scotty Dixon, baby. Scott Dixon is my championship pick from the beginning.
The only thing I would say to that is right after the top 5 is when kind of there's like a drop off in like the points, because the top 5 is all between 50 points, and then after that Scott Dixon is behind Palou by 22
Can we
points.
talk about how Connor Daly is 13th in points?
That's fire.
He's the highest ECR driver.
Indy
He's
I mean,
higher-
for the
Boy.
fact that he had a pretty disappointing first stretch of the season.
Yeah.
dude, Connor
Like-
Daly is higher than Graham Rahal, Renus VK, Elio Castroneves, Takuma Sato. That's crazy.
That is pretty crazy, actually. Interesting.
That's crazy. But
I
I
mean-
think Scott Dixon.
I mean, Palou's fourth. I guess Palou's fifth. My fault. And Palou and Pato are my two like.
Yeah,
Right now, I want Newgarden to win the championship because that was my preseason prediction. But
I mean, my current prediction is like I talked about it last week. I think that Ericsson's gonna make a championship push. Right now, he's first in the standings.
I can see it.
dude, I think it's gonna be Palou. He's so good,
Dude,
bro. I
bro,
say this every week. He's so good.
Doesn't matter. You finished last week.
Okay, and Ericsson DNF'd earlier in the season. What's your point?
I'm saying that right now,
Like-
Ericsson is first in points and Palou is fifth in points.
But also, like, okay, I wasn't even like this was not a planned question. This will be my last question. So Ericsson kind of had like a weird stretch, like first stretch of the season, but now like he's doing way better, and now he's obviously leading the points. Part of the reason he's leading the points by
'Cause he
such a
won the-
large margin is because the Indy 500 is double points. Do you think the Indy 500 should still be double points if it's going to lead to
Yes.
stuff like this?
Yes.
This is what makes the season interesting.
Whoever wins the Indy 500 should win the championship. I think that's just like a given thing. I think it's so cool, but like obviously it couldn't happen last year because Elliott was part time.
Right.
But like 2020, Takuma Sato was top 10 in points. 2019, Simon Pagenaud made a championship push. 2018, Will Power made a championship push. 2017, Sato made a championship push. 2016, Rossi was a rookie, so not really a championship push, but still. 2015, Juan Pablo Montoya made a championship push. I think like the winner of the Indy 500 hasn't won the championship for a long time. I think since Scott Dixon.
And I mean, isn't Laguna Seca double points too as the championship?
I
Yeah.
think Indy 500 is the only one.
Laguna Seca
Really?
double points, isn't it?
I don't think so.
It was last year.
Yeah, it was last year.
I don't know. The
But yeah.
IndyCar points are weird, anyways.
Indy 500
Like,
should be double points.
here's my proposal. Indy 500 is regular points, but Indy 500 qualifying is also for points because it's such a big event still. Like, I don't think that's an awful proposal.
I could see that. Okay.
Because
So,
like,
would you say take away double points but give points for qualifying too?
yeah,
I mean,
Like,
essentially
make-
that would
make it
kinda
all-
be that kind of be the same thing.
yeah, I know, but that way, if it's like someone that came from like the back that wins, and then it's somebody that like shouldn't be in championship contending, but they're like top 5 in points, then if they qualify well, like, you know what I mean? I feel like it kind of like balances it a little bit more than just like if you get those random winners that just like this isn't me discrediting Marcus Ericsson because obviously like he's on the best team in IndyCar and should be a championship contender. I just don't think it should be by such a large margin considering like the front stretch of his season was so weird. I don't know. I just feel like there's kind of like an imbalance, and maybe that's just a personal thing. I don't know if that's widely thought by a lot of people. That's just something I thought about.
Yeah, you know, there it is. All right, let's go ahead and transition, guys, into our predictions this week because we got a lot of fun stuff. Actually, not that much, actually. It's only 2 races.
Yeah. Oh yeah, IndyCar doesn't race this week either.
No IndyCar, no
No.
NASCAR. We got 2 races. We got F1 at Canada, and we got SRX at Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about last week's predictions, guys. So, let's just say Daniel ended up with 2 points again, and he is kicking our butts right now.
Let's go, baby!
Daniel's got 11. I've got 6 because I got 1 from my underdog pick as Daniel Suarez, and Tristan has 5. But as we were talking about, it's still a long season, and there's plenty of racing left. That anything can happen, Daniel. But no, I'm just playing. But yeah, we got 2
I'm
races.
simply just goated with the sauce, bro. You can't fight the sauce.
It's because he picks Verstappen every week and then gets one.
Dude, it's not even. I don't even get most of my points from F1. I get it all from like NASCAR weird picks.
That is true. He actually, yeah, because He did predict Chastain as his wild card for Coda. Yeah, and he won.
Like, I think this week was the first IndyCar prediction I got right. I could
I
be
love how
wrong.
Trackhouse has won all of their races on road courses and super speedways, and like everyone's like, "This is dope." And I also, as a Trackhouse fan, I'm like, "This is dope." But like,
I
still,
mean, they're at least consistent everywhere else.
Facts.
Still, like it's not like they're only good on those wild card tracks.
Yeah. Okay, so we got 2 races this week, guys. F1, SRX. What's the prediction? Let's go SRX first. Let's go Daniel.
Oh, we're going me first.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
SRX.
Are we just
okay.
doing one pick or one pick an underdog? For
One
SRX?
pick.
you gotta
one
do
pick.
one pick.
One
There's
pick.
too small of a field.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm going with the boy, Ernie Francis Jr.
EFJ, buddy. Yes, sir. Tristan.
Tony Stewart.
Easy pick.
And
Smoke.
I'm gonna go with Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Hey, RHR.
Sir,
Interesting.
yes, sir. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Now,
Wait, is this a dirt track?
you said what?
Five
Is this a dirt
flags.
track?
I don't think so.
I don't think it is.
I don't know enough about.
I'm picking
short track.
I'm picking Ryan Hunter-Reay no matter what. So,
Okay, it looks like
okay.
it's asphalt.
so let's go over to Formula One now. They're in Montreal at Circuit de Villeneuve. Tristan, who's your podium?
It's the same one we had last week.
Okay.
Literally, word for word, the exact same.
Sergio Perez.
Verstappen P1, Checo P2,
You had
Russell.
you had Sergio
P3.
first last week.
I
No,
know.
he's saying
but
what the actual podium was.
Oh, okay, my fault.
that's my podium pick this week. Verstappen P1, Checo P2, Russell P3.
Okay.
Underestimate
Mr. Daniel.
power of George Russell.
Okay, I'm trying to do this strategically so that if it's wrong, then I still get some sort of points. So don't like I'm going a little ballsy. Going a little ballsy. I'm going to winner. He's creeping up in points faster than it seems like he is. I'm going George Russell getting a win.
Oh wow.
Oof.
And then in P2, I'm not doing this because I think it's gonna happen. I'm doing this like for our prediction, like strategy reasons. I'm going Sergio Perez in P2, and then I'll go Verstappen in P3.
So you're just flipping what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Copycat.
Okay.
I mean we haven't seen the Canadian GP in a while, so like
That is true.
I feel like we're due for somebody different than just Verstappen.
Okay, so here's mine. I'm going with I was gonna go with something, but now I don't want to go with it.
Pierre
what?
Gasly.
No, Sergio Perez first.
Oh, Checo.
Second, I'm going with George Russell. Third, I am going to go with Charles Leclerc. I know it's kind of hit or miss right now, Ferrari, but that's
Not the Ferrari.
not a Ferrari. But those are my picks, and those are our picks for this weekend for SRX and Formula One. Tristan?
Yep. Let's close this bad boy out. We got a great episode today. Go ahead and follow us on all of our.
Wait, we didn't do
Oh!
group pick.
Oh
No. Put it down. What number?
Wait, are we doing
No, just keep going.
SRX?
Just keep going.
Are we doing SRX or F1?
It don't matter, either one.
SRX. Ryan Newman.
Ryan Newman. All right,
I'm fine with that.
got it. Now let's close it out, Tristan.
Follow us on all of our social medias at Indy Boys Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to the channel. We've been growing a lot recently. We love it. We love it for all of us. Shout out to David Malukas for being on Pit Lane Parlay as a guest host from now on. That's pretty cool. Shout out
That's
to all
just
of our
dope for the podcast community. Can we talk about
yeah.
that?
Like,
I just think that's cool.
That is dope.
That's cool. We got some friends over there on Pit Lane Parlay. We might be making an appearance soon. Just letting you guys know. We'll keep you guys posted about that.
Appearance for me?
Appearance for me? But yeah, super cool for that. Follow us on all of our personal social medias. Follow me, Tristan Grider _ J is confirmed _ J. And then Daniel Chaney, who has a tweet that has over 500 likes right now at
Is it?
Daniel.Chaney75. Go ahead and check
Bro,
him
it
out.
is. What?
I know. It's crazy. But yeah, follow us on all those social medias, guys, and have a good day. Have a good one, guys. Peace.